Hello, we meet again. How are you? Um, okay, now we continue with the last topic for mixing process. Uh, Again, I want to remind before we discuss this, you should read my lecture notes in order to get a clear picture what we want to discuss today. Okay, for today, for this session, um, we want to discuss about importance of spray dryer in ceramics processing. And number two, we need to learn also the different type of spray dryer, and we need to understand how to explain how the spray dryer works. And C, uh, we want to discuss about how we can control actually the shapes, size, and moisture content in fabricating ceramics granules. So now we move to the question A. The importance of spray dryer in ceramics processing. Okay, you can see in this slide the importance of spray dryer. We can divide it into three parts. Okay, uh, number one is that the spray dryer is a simple process in comparison with other kind of processes involved in ceramics manufacturing. Uh, of course, for this spray dryer, uh, it could be as a single spray dryer or the combination of the continuous installation of the spray dryer. Then the important one is that for a spray dryer, the final product no need to go through the drying process, because in the spray dryer silo tank itself, okay, those kind of ceramics powder or granules will go through the drying process at various kind of temperature. Number two is that for spray dryer, we can get desired particle size distribution of the ceramics powders or granules. Of course, this ceramic particle size depending how you mix, and then the concentration of the slurries and other kind of uh, factors affected the particle size and products. And number two is that soluble in water. Yeah, somehow uh, I do agree with this statement, but recently the spray dryer also can produce the ceramic powders that cannot soluble in water. And number three is that for spray dryer, it's really cost effective process, because uh, you need to invest not so much money, but you can produce the high yield of ceramics powder. For example, if we use a normal method, okay, if we use normal method, you need to dry using manual process, so it involves a lot of electricity, gas, furnace, area, equipments, and others. However, when you use the spray dryer, you just uh, you just push the slip that you produce in the mixing process to the spray dryer in huge volume of amount, and then you can get high yield or high production of ceramics powder after go through all these spray dryer processes. Okay, now we want to discuss about types of spray dryer and explain how it works. Okay, this one you can see the diagram that draw with the colors one. Okay, this one the example how we set up. Okay, we set up this equipment for spray dryer process. Of course, you have inlet, you have outlet of the products, you have a compressor, you have compressor, you have the you have something like oxygen to fire the sample, and also you have the tips and nozzles in order to speed up the rotation process, the airflow in the spray dryer. Okay, so for the type of spray dryer, actually in this slide, okay, I give you only two examples, the different type of the spray dryer. Number one is that the co-current disk atomizer, and number two is that mixed flow with nozzle atomizer. Okay, what is the difference between co-current and also mixed flow with nozzle atomizer? Okay, you can see the in this case, okay, in this case, at the top of the silo spray dryer, you can see the disk atomizer, something like this disk will rotate, okay, and distribute all the slip liquid that you mixed before in the spray dryer machine. And then number two is that for mixed flow, okay, they will install the atomizer at the center. So means that when this middle atomizer sprinkle the slip, so it can go, you can see the arrow one, okay, you can see the slip will move up and then rotate, go down, and then produce the sample. Okay, why this type of spray dryer is really important? Number one is that we want to see the spec of the ceramics powder. Number two, we want to know also where we want to apply this ceramics powder, either for conventional ceramic product or advanced ceramics product. Okay, but you can see when compared with co-current and mixed flow, the installation of the mixed flow is much more complex in compare with co-current disk atomizer. Okay, general process flow for spray dryer. Okay, I do advise to you, okay, please not remember, understand this process well, because you not to learn for only for the exam, but when you go out there, okay, this process will be applied regardless of the ceramic or the industry's nature that you work in the future. Okay, what is the general flow for the spray dryer processes? Number one, you need to prepare the slip containing liquid and also ceramic powder at appropriate concentration, and then this slip will suck by the atomization, as we discussed before. In co-current, the disk atomizer was installed at the top of the spray dryer. For mixed flow, the atomizer installed at the middle section of the spray dryer. Okay, this atomization process will sprinkle the slip concentration that you produce in the mixing process, and then when during the atomization process, this process will be produce droplet when they will contact with air, and then they will form different kind of different size of the ceramic powders or granules, and then after the contact with the air, this powder will go through the drying process, and then separation of powder from moist gas. Okay, this one you need to read my lecture note because I cannot explain longer here, but if you have any question, please feel free to ask me using the Padlet given in the e-learning, and then or you can personally WhatsApp me. Alright, so now we want to discuss about how to control the shape and size and also the moisture content in fabricating ceramic granules. Bear in mind in that this question is really important. why I say really important, because you as an engineer, you need to alter the production process in order to meet the specification given by your customer, or given by your bosses. Okay, why these three factors is very important in spray drying process? Because when you can control the shape, you can sell the product with a higher cost. And then number two is that when you adjust the parameter, you can get the size according what you want. Okay, therefore in this process you should understand how to play with the factors in order to obtain the different shape. For example, if you want to get rounded shape of the ceramic powder, you can control by adjusting the parameter in the spray dryer process. And then the moisture content, as I mentioned before, okay, in moisture content in ceramic granule is really important if you want to produce a ceramics product, because if too much moisture content in the ceramic powder, it might jeopardize the final properties of the ceramics products. Okay, in this case, I already summarized, okay, the factors. Maybe when you go through to the Google or to the references, you can see more factors as I listed here. Okay, but in this case I just list out the factors that affecting the shape, size of the granules, the feed concentration. As I mentioned before, you need to prepare the right concentration for the spray drying process, because for suitable feed concentration will produce different type of particle size, and also the moisture content of the product. Okay, for example, I summarize this one. If we increase the feed concentration, the particle size will increase, and also the moisture content will be decreased. If the atomizer size, feed pressure is increased, the particle size is decreased. Atomizer size, rate of hot air, rate of feed, and hot air temperature. Okay, as we discuss, for me, important factors that you should consider is that feed concentration, rate of feed, rate of hot air, and also hot air temperature. Because in a spray dryer, from the top to the bottom, this slip concentration will pass through different level of temperature before reach at the bottom of the spray dryer, before charging from the nozzle at the bottom, and you can get the final ceramics powder. Okay, so please stay with me. I think that's all for the mixing process topic. So in this, after we discuss this three section, what you should do is that I will come out with the next video about the reflection session that you should do when you go through all these lecture notes and videos. Please stay tuned with me. Okay, bye.